next page we have a table. Now for tables, we remember that we always have to draw our arrows. We also know that it's right side over left side. For this arrow over here, I would take my bottom and I would subtract off my top. So I would have -3 minus -1. Well, in this case, I got two negatives right next to each other. What happens when there's two negatives right next to each other? They turn into a positive. So therefore, I've got -3 plus 1. Same signs or different signs? Different signs. Different signs. Add or subtract? Subtract. So I would have 3 minus 1, which gives me 2. And then I keep the sign of the bigger number, so that is -2. On the left side, I would subtract what? 0 minus -6. Well, once again, I've got two negatives right next to each other. What happens when I have two negatives right next to each other? They turn into a positive. So now I have 0 plus 6. And what is 0 plus 6? 6. So right side over left side, I would have -2 over 6. What are both -2 and 6 divisible by? 2. And -2 divided by 2 gives me -1, and 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. So my m is a -1/3. Now my b, I have to remember that b is across from 0. Well, where's 0 at in my table? Boom, 0 is right there. So what is my b? My b is -3. When I fill this in, remember I have y equals mx plus b. So this right here is going to be -1/3 plus -3. Next one, first thing I do when I see a table is I draw some arrows. Now on this right here, as a reminder, we have m and we usually have b. In this case, I didn't give you a b, and you'll see why in just a second. So m is right over left. I'm going to take that bottom number and subtract it from the top number. So I have 1 minus -11. And as a reminder, what happens when you have two negatives next to each other? They turn into a positive. So I have 1 plus 11, which gives me 12. On the left side, what would I subtract? I would have 1 minus -1. When I have two negatives next to each other, what happens? They turn into a positive. So therefore, I have 1 plus 1, which gives me 2. It is right side over left side, so it is 12 divided by 2, which gives me 6. Now, usually, I would tell you to look for a b, but you don't know how to find the b for this one because that's an 8th grade skill. But as a reminder, b is across from 0. And if you look right here, we don't see anywhere where x equals 0, so therefore, it didn't give us a b this time. Well, what do I do, Miss Dunn, if it didn't give me a b? Well, we're going to look for where m equals 6. So I have y equals mx plus b. So where this m is, or the number that's attached onto x, that needs to be a 6. Well, which answer choice has a 6 attached onto it? That would be H. Next one, George started a coin collection. His dad gave him 75 coins. Each month, he will add 20 coins to the coin collection. Write an equation to describe the situation. Well, my equation is y equals mx plus b. M happens how many times? Multiple. And b happens once. Okay. So, his dad gave him 75 coins. How many times did that happen? Once. So this right here is 75. This next one says each month he added 20 coins. So that means every single month he's adding 20 coins, which means that's happening over and over and over and over again because each month he's putting 20 more in. So I have y equals 20x plus 75 because this one happens multiple times and this one happens once. This next one says Nicholas is buying shirts for his baseball team. He will pay $9.50 per shirt and a one-time fee of $22.50. Write an equation. Well, our equation is y equals mx plus b. And m happens multiple times. And b happens once. So, $9.50 happens multiple times or once. It happens multiple times because it's got that word per right there. So that's going to go right there and attach it onto my x for my m. And then this literally says one-time fee. So this only happens once. So we have $22.50 right here. Next one, I see a table, so what do? I draw some arrows. Reminder, m is right side divided by left side. All right. For my m, on the right side, I would do 16 minus 4, which gives me 12. On the left side, I would do 2 minus 0, which gives me 2. So I would do 12 divided by 2, which gives me 6. How do I find b? b is across from 0. So if I look right here, here's 0. What's across from it? Whoop, that's 4. So b is 4. And as a reminder, it's y equals mx plus b. So I have 6 and 4. Y equals 6x plus 4. Next one, a taxi driver offers rides from the airport to a hotel. They offer an initial fee of $2.25, then 50 cents per mile. As a reminder, we've got y equals mx plus b. M happens multiple times, and b happens once. Which one happens multiple times? The 50 cents, because that says per. Which one happens once? $2.25, because it says initial fee. An initial fee happens at the very start, which is only one time, so this would be 0.50 plus 2.25.